Ah, yes. Ah, yes, Valentine's Day. Great word to start. Hi there. Welcome, everybody, once again to Cast Iron Wednesday, a long running tradition that a number of YouTube channels have been doing for the past several years. And this channel here, thank you very much for joining here at Cast Iron Chaos. We've been doing a cast iron video every Wednesday for going on about 3.5 years now, somehow. And somehow I've managed to survive it, not cause anyone to die from my cooking, and I haven't burned down my kitchen yet. Hopefully, never. So, thank you very much to everybody for showing up. There are, of course, a number of folks who have been kind enough to show up here every week, and I'm always grateful for everybody who's had decided to drop by and see whether or not I'm going to chop off one of my arms or something tonight. Because yes, these are the regulars on the channel here, of course. And thank you as well. Hello to everybody who's here, to Pat Z and Jimmy Langford, Rocket Caver, Cynthia Wesley, Buzz Pork 8, who's become a regular, it seems, the last few weeks, and Rick Stumbo and Jimmy Langford. I think I said that already. And hello, Lorenzo Antonio, and hello to Granny Graham, and Val's Black Cats Rule, and all of the folks who I see here every week. Thank you very much, and especially to anybody who has decided to join here for the first time. Yes, hello, Celine77. Howdy, chaotic friends. Yes, indeed. Definitely, chaos is a part of this channel too. I will definitely say that, and not just because of this, but I'm still kind of recovering from my attempt at baking a cake last night. For instance, I posted the results on my Facebook page. In that, well, it was kind of like you know how I've talked about disasters and learning experiences. Well, this was something like a little bit of both, because we're still able to eat the end product. But last night was definitely an example of, if it can go wrong, it will. Hopefully tonight's going to be a little easier to manage that. So once again, though, thank you, everybody. Yeah. Well, the steak in the photo. That is actually an older picture of two New York strip steaks. Tonight, we are instead going to be doing ribeyes. So let's see if I can get a decent close up of these things without them falling off the plate. Yeah, one is a boneless ribeye and one is a bone-in ribeye. And yeah, and we're going to be cooking this two different ways tonight. So yeah, it's going to be interesting as well, because when I tell you how I'm going to be cooking this second one here, I think some folks are probably going to be shocked. So I should say this part right now. You know, there's a saying, "Don't yuck the yum," meaning that yeah, I almost never try to limit the comments, but when it comes to cooking the steak, I do want to ask that people be kind enough not to make too many negative comments, because this particular boneless ribeye steak here, I am going to be cooking to well done. Yes, I am, and the reason why is intentional. This is actually being done at request for my good friend who I'm cooking these steaks with for tonight. Yeah, because it's Valentine's Day, and again I'm cooking these steaks obviously to celebrate the day, and that is how actually my friend likes her steak. I've made steak for her a number of times now, and believe it or not, she wants her steak well done, and that's what she's going to get. So I know how it is on the internet. There are some things that people just really, they just can't seem to help but let fly with the insult. You know, how dare you use chili beans in your chili, or how dare you make your cornbread with sugar? And in this case, especially from the smoking brigade, it's, I mean, the simply the idea of intentionally cooking a steak to well done. Well, that's why I'm saying that in advance. But we're actually going to be doing that part a little bit We're going to be doing that probably towards the end of this video because my dinner guest actually is not going to be here tonight, not until after this is done. She is actually at the movies with her girlfriend. They're enjoying, they're both attending the premiere of the new Bob Marley movie tonight. So they definitely wanted to check that out, which is fine because, we're just friends, my friend and I. It's not like I'm her boyfriend or husband or anything like that. So, I mean, so I don't mind at all. I mean, she's having fun and I'm having fun with all you folks. Okay, and that's about as personal as I'm going to get tonight. No, I'm not cooking these steaks in a lamb mold. In fact, what I'm going to be doing is, there's this biopic of Bob Marley. Tonight is actually the premiere. It's released to video, released to theaters today. So I can only hope it's decent. But yes, anyway, in fact, that's how we're going to get started here. Okay, I'm going to be doing these one at a time. This one I'm going to save until later, but this one here, this bone-in ribeye, this is the one that I'm going to be cooking for myself. And yes, I'm going to be doing it in a more traditional way. Well, actually, not so much traditional because I'm going to be doing the reverse sear on this. And besides, take a look at this thing. I was actually glad to find this thing. It is bone-in, yes, but it's got to be probably about an inch and a half thick, which is one of the best ways to have a steak. So that means I'm going to slow cook it first in the oven, and I've already heated the oven up to 300 degrees, and that's all we need. So that means we can get started here, and then after that we will talk about, well, cast iron, of course. Yeah. Speaking of which, here is the number 12 size Finex pan, which is really my go-to steak pan. And I'm going to be doing it in two ways. First, I've got a rack laid out here. The idea of the reverse sear method is, again, first we're going to slow cook it. The steak itself, I've coated with the salt and pepper on both sides, and I've had it in the uncovered in the fridge for the last few hours or so to help to help marinate it. Which means in goes a probe thermometer, and then from there, it will go into the oven. So this part is nice and simple. Actually, the nice thing about this, of course, is that we have such temperature control on the steak. I can actually, yeah, there we go. We'll move it back this way. As I said, the oven is just at 300 degrees. So whoops, oh damn, I always forget something. Got to rearrange my oven racks. Yeah, that was one of the things I had to do after the little cake fail last night. So, always something, isn't it? All right, but this will only take a second anyway. Let's get this down here to about here. A little piece of burned on cake still. Thought I got all of that out. Anyway, now into the oven we go. I don't want this thing to fall over. So in we go. And now, all right, let's see if I can't get a good view here of the, it would help if I turn this thing on. And we're just going to set it for the alarm for, nope, wrong direction. I like doing these. I find 123 degrees to be a good temperature to shoot for. And besides, this is going to be the reverse sear, which means after we do this, we are then going to sear it. So let's see, that's 121. Yeah, that should do 122 degrees. So, and as you can see, the steak itself is only up 39 degrees, so there's plenty of time to go. All right, and that is the first step. Yeah, here on the stovetop, by the way, while we have it, is two other pans that we're going to be playing with tonight because to accompany my friend's steak, I'm also going to be making some steak fries. And for that, I have brought out the 12-inch, well, 12.5-inch BSNR number 10. And her steak is going to be cooked in the Stargazer skillet. All right, yes. Yeah, I've had this Stargazer here now. Fortunately, Stargazer has the actual manufacturing date. This one was manufactured 2019, June 10. So, boy, I can't believe I've actually had this for almost 5 years. Oh, I'm kind of shocked at that myself. So it's especially since it really took a good 2 or 3 years before I was able to get any kind of decent seasoning on that. But that's another thing. Fuzz fork. I can only afford hamburger steak. Well, if that's all you can afford, then definitely I would say to enjoy it. So yeah. Deep Hell Pal. I grew up on the West Coast. I don't think porterhouse is a thing there. I think it's called something else. Thought it was called strip and tenderloin. Well, well, no, actually, no, I don't call myself Star Lord. Rather, as I said, my title is Cast Iron Chaos. And so this is more like the symbol of chaos as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, what seasoned yeah, Walmart seasoned wedge fries are awesome, surprisingly. Well, yeah, actually, they are. I mean, it's pretty hard to screw those things up, although I am going to be doing these ones from scratch as well. Okay. And yes, and as G. Humphrey says, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. So here's a question for everybody. What did Santa bring you on for Valentine's Day this year? Santa, of course, meaning, well, there's your hubby or your wifey or your significant other, whatever you want to call it. um, yeah, because it's a good. I mean, of course, we've got all of the usual Valentine's Day stuff. We've got the candy and we've got the flowers. Naturally, maybe some people might even be giving jewelry. But I like, yeah. But there's no reason why, of course, we can't give other kinds of presents as well. Kevin Brown, it's good to see your oven looks like mine and not like the TV chef's oven. Yes. Well, as I mentioned, I'm kind of recovering from a cake disaster last night too. But I do have to agree that yeah, I really need to give my oven another good cleaning. I'm sorry to say. Yeah, that all look like they've never been cooked in. Well, yes, this is true. That's partly because I'm doing these videos and doing this entire channel on a very low budget. So I hate there's so many different names for fish. Yeah, exactly. We've got each other here. F4M Morris family. Okay, this single guy got himself a Big Mac meal. Well, why not? Yes, I can. Chocolate truffles for my boss is what I got. They were awesome, nice. And yeah, I know Valentine's Day, of course, is one of those emotional days where a lot of single guys feel all lonely and everything like that. I'm really not here to whine about that. I'm just here to have fun. And besides, cooking in cast iron certainly helps cheer me up, anyways. So, speaking of which, it's time for something else to happen tonight. Because I mentioned this. Oh yeah, here's the other steak. Once again, here's the other ribeye steak that we will be cooking a little bit later. You know, I should probably get out a piece of foil, I think, and just cover that steak until it's time to cook it. So let's do that quickly, and then we will move on to the other subject that I mentioned. There we go. All right. So yeah, driving home from getting a real late day at work. I know that feeling as well. I'm being passive aggressive and not calling my lover. Okay. I'm going to wait until he's almost asleep. Yeah. Oh, so it's true. You ladies do that intentionally, huh? All right. However, as I mentioned, there is something else that happened today that I certainly did not expect. And that would be, yeah, in fact, I better do one thing that I forgot, and that is that I'm not interested, no offense, in broadcasting my address to the world. I'm sorry to say. So let me quickly get that out of the way, which I should have done before, but I simply didn't think of it. Nonetheless, it seems that yeah, I actually did get a package today on here on Valentine's Day. Although this is one that I was told last week during the live session as well that this was going to arrive on Monday. Well, for whatever reason, it just decided to arrive today. And I think we know who this is from, partly because he announced it. That's Louis J. yet again. Despite my insistence that I'm asking folks not to send me presents because I don't need them, we've got this one here that says, Fredericksburg Cast Iron Company in Fredericksburg, Texas. And I have no idea what it is any more than you do. So I figured we might as well unbox this thing together and see what happens. Besides, that's a good excuse anyway to break out a knife. Let's do this one here. This is my Forge Craft. So yeah, I'm that much of a geek that I actually know the brands of my knives too. All right, come on. I am not interested in, of course, in. Oh, no wonder this isn't even. Um, this isn't even this. The box isn't even there. Okay, in that case, the box is more like here, huh? Then we'll just careful. Then we'll just do it this way. There we go. There's one. Here comes two. Let's see what do we have here. How do they? Oh, I think I'm getting somewhere. Boy, I don't even know how to do this. Oh, okay. So it is here. All right. Well, then we'll just. Oh, that didn't help. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, Fredericksburg Cast Iron Company. Oh, that's interesting. Well, it tells me what it is. 6-ounce cast iron ramekin. Well, thank you very much. Quantity 2 of 2. So you really, so there are 2 in there. Oh boy. Okay. Well, let's take a look before I start whining. I mean, I'm very, very honored and grateful that someone would be kind enough to send me a present unasked for. And yes, it is completely unasked for. I've said already that I really don't want any more donations. And yet, of course, somebody decided to do this anyway. Okay, still, here we are. Let me get this paper out of the way. And voila. Fredericksburg Cast Iron Company. FPG, I forget what that, oh yeah, Fredericksburg, I guess, USA. Texas, no less. And now, oh yeah, these things, I'm sure these things probably cost a pretty penny. You can tell from the way they're packaged. But here is one. Wow. Oh, look at this thing. God, it actually looks like this looks like the type of thing you might actually use as a piece of plumbing, except of course that it is completely smooth on the inside. And yeah, definitely ground down. Although it does actually have a bit of a grooved surface. It's not mirror smooth. It's got this edge on the outside here, and on the bottom here is where it says Fredericksburg Cast Iron Company. Made in Texas, USA. So yeah, this is a very nice piece too. Um, did it say a 6-inch ramekin? I may have to measure that. However, that's one. And here is number 2. Here is the other cast iron ramekin. Wow. And yeah, I have no doubt that these things fit together. Yep, sure enough, they fit together perfectly. There's no surprise there. Wow. All right. Well, again, I can only say thank you so much, Louis J. Um, yeah, because this is very generous, and I'm very much appreciative of this. It's honestly, yeah, I am going to do my best to get a lot of use out of this. So I can only thank you so much. Although I have to ask, please don't send me any more cast iron. I honestly, I mean, you've seen how big my collection is. I would really want to say that if you want to donate cast iron, donate it to another person on this channel, and I won't even name names, who would certainly get a lot of use out of this. But I'm going to do my best. However, this thing is nice and heavy too. As I said, very, very smooth and polished. All right, let me put this back for now. Trying to think how I can use this tonight, in fact. Well, I suppose I might be able to melt butter, maybe make a garlic butter with it, perhaps. But anyway, yeah, the remake would make excellent ramekin would make excellent French onion soup. Maybe I should make pot de creme. 45 pounds each. Oh boy. Yeah, exactly. Pot pie or shepherd's pie. What is a ramekin? A ramekin is, in fact, this kind of a dish shaped in this manner here. You see, it's not a bowl per se. Notice how it's really flat, very straight, and so it's really not meant so much for scooping. It's a very specialized type of baking dish more than anything else. Although, of course, it's cast iron and you can use it for just about anything. So, but yeah, especially in places like France and the like, they do use these things specifically for very small, especially for making very small dishes of, yes, French onion soup for one. I think that's probably what they use ramekins for more than anything else, in fact. So I guess French onion soup is going to have to go on the menu pretty soon. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Meanwhile, at this point, for the record, I've just checked the thermostat or the thermometer for the steak. It is currently just passing 80 degrees, so there is still some time yet. Okay, mashed potatoes topped with cheese. Yeah, and yeah, I agree, Debbie. Yeah, it is a very nice gift. Thank you so much once again. Yeah, Yorkshire pudding, chocolate mousse, creme brulee, molten chocolate cake, cheese and egg dishes. Now my internet is glitching. Oh, my condolences there. Yes, exactly. Well, yeah, I know. And again, thank you. I probably can't say thank you enough. So thank you so much. Wonton soup. But yes, I mentioned earlier, I currently have two unfinished videos already that I need to put together, and it looks like that after those are done, I guess I'm going to have to, well, probably make an attempt at making French onion soup in these things, because yeah, that is certainly, yeah. I have to say, yes, I have not yet made French onion soup. And yeah, this is about as good an excuse as it can get, I think. So, all right, let's put these all away, largely just so that they don't get dirty, because you do have to clean your workspace off. Although it's, as I said, I can't say again, I'm so flattered. Okay, still, and I'm hoping at least, yeah, I'm buying a set of these. They're gorgeous. Yeah, you can make a souffle with apple crisps. Yes, indeed. And I have other things that I've made apple crisps in as well. Oh, yeah, that's one thing I should do. Try to compare it. Um, no, these things are definitely much smaller than your typical number three size skillet. So definitely did not say. I think no, oh, yeah, maybe it said 6 ounce ramekin, because here is a BSNR number three size skillet, whereas this thing here is considerably smaller in diameter for that. So it's not 6 inches, I guess, and this seems like bigger than 6 ounces. Well, I'll take the time to measure it, but probably not now because I've got to, well, get ready to continue here. All right, let me put this back. And having said that, I hope at least somebody else got some nice cast iron for Valentine's Day, because of course it makes a very nice gift, and I think that's an excuse as well to show off the other piece of cast iron that I acquired last week, which I know I've already shown. Speaking of Valentine's Day, here is the Lodge, the Lodge Heart Pan, which is definitely something, the type of thing that people would want to give as a gift on Valentine's Day. That's for sure. So, and yeah, it is a very nice pan as well. For the record, this thing here is just about, I would say, the same size, more or less, as a number five sized 8-inch cast iron skillet. So, because that's one of the two unfinished videos that I have to do. I have to finish the brownie video where I made brownies in this, and I'm hoping to have that one done, well, hopefully within the next day or two. That's my best guess here. All right. So anyway, never saw the Lodge Heart Pen. Yeah, I never would have heard of it if not for Lodge's own Facebook page. Yes, I don't think Lodge has really been advertising this outside of their own fan base. I guess maybe because it is something of a specialty item. I suppose there's no denying that. But nonetheless, it is still there on their website, and I'm sure it's not going to be well unless it's actually sold out, and hopefully it's not. I'm sure you'll be able to buy this for quite a while yet. It's not like they're going to discontinue it now that Valentine's Day is here. Okay, perfect for frittata. Very cute the way Lodge attached the arrow and shaft feathers. Yes, indeed. It's as though that you might consider this to be a very useful handle for the skillet or something. All right. Lodge has always ruled in. Hello, Papa Dan. Been listening while making supper. Yeah, exactly. Nice presents. I was really not expecting it. The oven, by the way, the steak has just passed 93 degrees. So we actually still have a little bit more time yet, which is good to know. Um, all right. So yeah. Hello. Actually, I can think of one thing I need to do in that case. Although I can't start heating that pan yet, not until the other one comes out of the oven. Right now, I have the oven set to 250 degrees. Once it comes out, I'm going to turn up the temperature and start preheating the BSNR number 10 to 425 degrees because that's what we'll be using our steak fries with. And hello again. Hello everybody. Mercy B and 4M Morris family. It would be cool to make a big heart-shaped pancake in that. Maybe that'll be my project on a Saturday morning. We can see how well that turns out. I could try doing a pancake, or maybe I might even. I like the frittata idea. Maybe we might go with that and see what we have next. Yeah, because I'm definitely want to keep on using this thing as well, and not just use it maybe once a year or something, if that's at all possible. All right. Okay. Um. All right. What did I say? Oh, yeah, that's right. The other thing, though, I do actually have to do yet is wash off some russet potatoes and prepare them for um, to go into the pan. So that's not a bad plan because this won't take very long at all. Let's get out a few potatoes. I really don't even need too many. Although the nice thing about steak fries is that you can cut them up nice and thick. You don't have to make them like paper thin or anything like that. That's probably more than enough, in fact, right there. Okay, so that means, of course, I've got to wash them off, these potatoes, that is. So, in order to keep things busy here, yeah, that would make a real nice sized skillet cookie. Yeah, I decided to do brownies, but yeah, I would say a skillet cookie is very much in the works as well. Just quickly have to. The other nice thing about steak fries is that you don't even have to peel the potatoes, which is good because I love potato skins. So all I really have to do is wash these off and then dry them, of course, and then slice them up, and then they will go into a bowl, and we will prepare it from there. There we go. Nice and simple. That means now we get to move over back to here to our cutting board and move the steak off of the cutting board, along with the mouse. And I had already put my knife back, so let's take the old Forgecraft knife out as well. This knife, by the way, for the record, was yet another flea market find, and I found it only last year at one of my favorite flea markets. There we go. Start with the biggest one, I guess. Let's try it this way. This, that, and the other thing. Nice big potato wedges, in fact. No, yeah. So we just cut this in half. And we got some big fries already. This and that and that. And boy, I've actually lost track of where it is. There we go. This and that, and a little bit careful of that. All right. Not bad for one potato. All right, I'm trying not to take too long on these because we're at 106, by the way. The steak is almost ready. Technically, I could eat that steak just as soon as I take it out of the oven. But of course, we want to sear it and get a good crust on it, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So there's this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since this is a much smaller potato, I don't have to cut it in half. Not like, say, maybe this one. All right. Do this as quickly as we can, shall we? 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is smaller than my chef knife. Maybe I should have used the chef knife for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm just doing 5 just because it seems convenient. There's no hard and fast rule on how you want to cut up potatoes. And the last one. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. All right, put this down. Okay. There we go. All right, there we go. So anyway, we've got the starter. I've got some corn oil already. Toss a little bit of that in. You don't need too much. And where did my fork go? Here it is. Try to get them nice and coated. All right. And now, of course, for a little bit of seasoning, which means salt. Pepper. Some smoked paprika, because any excuse to use smoked paprika is a good excuse. And probably her favorite seasoning is Saison. There we go. Now we just mix it all together. And bam. And from there, we're just going to throw it into a hot cast iron pan and bake it in the oven. And we will have steak fries. Nice and simple. For the record, the potatoes are russets. All right, getting that out of the way. Nothing to it. All right, which means let's quickly. I should put this knife away, or at least out of the way, because I have to wash the knife off. All right. Okay, let's see if we missed anything. Oh, yeah, nice as well. Hi, Huey. Yes, hi, Huey as well. So, was that a heart-shaped pizza? I'm sure you could have a heart-shaped pizza. No reason why not to. Hog Wild Cast Iron. Yeah, I got a pretty one in today, an ARC logo, Lodge number 8. Well, congratulations on that. Nice find there. We're almost done, by the way. The steak is almost ready for part two. And actually, I just realized I need to get rest that steak because I'm going to have to heat up the pan. So I had better dig out another plate. There we go. Because the steak is right now at 117. We only have 5 degrees to go before the ThermoPro goes off. You know something about ThermoPro? I went through no less than 3 of those ThermoPro probe thermometers in the space of maybe about a year. All 3 of them had the same problem. The probe just plain came out, the wires were exposed, and then the wires just ended up breaking. So I had to get a different model of the probe thermometer. On the other hand, the ThermoPro thermometer that I'm using here, I've had now for, I don't know, maybe about 4 years or so. This one, on the other hand, has a metal wire for the probe, and so far it has held up very, very well. So go figure. Okay, I cleaned and seasoned 7 skillets in a number 10 Dutch oven today. No beer involved. Why not? Does the literature rate what they used to season the ramekins? They look nice. Yeah, that's a good question, Papa Dan. We have a minute or so, I think. Let me get this ready here. So let's see, in fact, what it says. There we go. Okay, let me dig out that little thing here again. Fredericksburg Cast Iron Company. It's a getting started guide for the record. Getting started. It is ready for use. We pre-season your cast iron pan by hand with several layers of oil. Before we with warm water and dry, Frederick will change appearance before becoming black. Oops, there it is. Okay. That means, first, let's turn off the alarm. Next, gotta get out my glove. Do it quickly. All right. And out we go. Oh, yeah. Ugh. So far, here we go. Here is the ribeye that has so far been slow cooking in the oven. And like I said, I could eat this now if I wanted to, but again, we are only done with part 1. Let's get rid of this thermometer here. Next, from here, you see if I can move this thing. I guess I need another glove. If I can get this thing out of here without dropping it. There we go. Moving on to the plate. Because now we get to take our Finex cast iron skillet, move it back to the stove top. Yeah, let's move this one over, in fact. And now we start with the heat. There we go. And now it's just a matter of getting this Finex skillet ripping hot, and then we will get to step number 2, which means we're only going to have to sear the steak for like maybe about, I don't know, 60 seconds or so on each side, maybe 60 to 90 seconds at most, because after all, the inside is cooked. That alarm sounds like mine. Was trying to remember what I was supposed to do. Well, yeah. Well, this is again. I mean, ThermoPro is a very popular brand. So yeah, this is a ThermoPro thermometer here. Um, as I mentioned already, that this particular one here, like I said, this has a nice metal cord here, and I'm very glad about that. That's probably one reason why this thermometer has lasted as long as it did. So I'm actually quite happy with that. Mm. Texas football will soon have fieldlings. Oh, that's interesting. And somebody said 45 quid each. Yes. Apparently, that's what they're selling those for on their website. Definitely. Sear that bad boy. You better believe that's exactly what I'm doing. So you can block that and keep it all private. Okay. I'm that person in a small town that everybody wants to hang out with. I ain't got time for friend requests from fake folks. Yeah, I know the feeling. Yeah. Try the probe thermometer to compare temperatures. Well, I have already rested this. The steak has already been resting on the rack here for just a moment, for a minute or two already. But yeah, here's the other probe thermometer. I even forget what brand this is. All I know is it's an Amazon's choice. So if I use this, well, it's currently now down to about 105. But like I said, it has been resting already on the, yeah, it already has been resting for a couple of minutes. So, and over here it says 110, 111. And over here it says 119, 120, 121. So definitely that's, all right. That's what I get for using a bone-in steak, I guess. Yeah, because the bone-in, I do have to agree that the bone-in, unfortunately, does not cook evenly. But even so, the important thing is it's not overcooked. All right, let's head back here again to the stove because I'm sure people will want to see the results here. So, okay, so far I've only had this on the heat for a couple of minutes, and we are currently up to just under 400 degrees. So I tend to like sear my steaks when this temperature here passes 500, which means from the looks of it, I'd say we probably only have to wait for maybe another few minutes at the most. Yeah, off the bone is always better. Save your drippings for Yorkshire pudding. Yeah, made in these ramekins, no doubt. So yeah, that's true. That's one of the uses that ramekins are especially made for making Yorkshire pudding. All right. Speaking of which, yeah, again, as I mentioned, this is the Finex. Ooh, yeah, this is definitely hot, all right. This is the Finex number 12 cast iron skillet, which I've had now. Oh, holy cow! This coming Christmas is going to be the 10th anniversary of my owning this Finex skillet. Wow, I can't believe it's been 10 years already. But yeah, it was in 2014 that I guess what it was a present. I was completely it arrived completely out of the blue. Although I'm very grateful for the friend who sent it. And yes, again, it took a good couple of years or so at least to get some decent seasoning on this Finex skillet. So it did indeed take a while, but I would have to say the results have been worth it. Um, this is the number 12 size. And when I measured this particular Finex pan, by the way, it is 12 inches from edge to edge of the pouring spouts. The flat areas here are less than 12 inches. So technically it's smaller. In fact, it's a lot smaller. Its cooking surface. Oh, this is hot. Okay, let's get the glove again. In fact, this diameter is considerably smaller than the BSNR here. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, the BSNR fits over the entire Finex skillet without any difficulty at all. All right, their intentions ain't no good. Okay. Oh, I see. You're talking about fake friends. Yeah. Kind of like the guy who messaged me on Facebook as well. Basically that spammer who says, "Oh, I enjoy your channel, but you need more exposure and more interaction and whatever." Uh-huh. Right. Well, this thing here is starting to smoke, so I think we are getting close to the right temperature. 484, 451, 472, 476. Okay, we're almost there. As you can see, this hotspot here is getting to just under 500, but I still want to wait maybe a couple of minutes yet. However, we are close, and this is not going to take long anyway. Then, oh yeah, while I'm waiting, what did I say? Excuse me 1 second. What I'm going to do now is get the this into the oven. Once again, this is the number 10 BSNR. Let's get this into the oven and turn the oven temperature up to 425, because that's what we will be doing to make our steak fries. That would be here. Had this for more than a year and I still don't have it all memorized, although it's pretty simple. 425. There we go. All right. And having done that, here once again is the Finex. Happy Valentine's Day to Frank Roper and Mark Sieber. I did popovers today. They're about the same thing. So is a Dutch Baby and Toad in the Hole. Hadn't heard of ramekins either. Yes. That is a thick and heavy skillet. Yes, that's why this has become really my go-to when it comes to actually searing a steak. I really think thick and heavy cast iron. Whoops, we are now over 500, at least in a couple of spots. I really think thick and heavy cast iron is better for searing a steak. All right, now we are getting somewhere. In fact, I'm going to turn the temperature up a little bit. And here goes nothing. Throw in a little bit of corn oil. Don't need too much. I like using corn oil because it has a high smoke point and a fairly neutral flavor too. I really can't say that it is ever, I've ever gotten a bad taste in my food from using corn oil. All right, that means bring out the steak. Wait a few seconds, although the oil is already shimmering, so I'd say we're good. And again, I only have to do this for like maybe a little more than a minute on each side. That's what the reverse sear is all about. So do this carefully. And all right, so it says 8:48 on my laptop here. All right. Once again, bone-in ribeye. Do you have to cover the smoke detectors? Well, no, of course not. I mean, I don't want to say anything on the internet that could potentially cause any kind of trouble for me, whether it's now or 5 years from now. So no, I never cover my smoke detectors. Not at all. Get ready for potential chaos. Yes, exactly. Well, I certainly hope not. Yeah. Toad in the Hole. Yeah, that is one. That's the American version of Toad in the Hole. The British version of Toad in the Hole, as you found out already, are sausages or other kinds of meat cooked in batter, the kind of batter that you normally make Dutch babies or Yorkshire pudding. Yorkshire pudding is basically a Dutch baby without the sugar. All right, so we're at 8:49. I'm gonna go maybe a little bit, but I think we should probably try flipping this already. And bam. All right. Yeah, I will say as well about running this channel, it's definitely been a learning experience for me when it comes to food, and I'm so glad I've learned so much. That's for sure. I forgot mine. If I ever log out, I'm done for on Facebook. Yeah, I know. Our friend's Facebook. Because he doesn't have a smoke detector. Yeah, I have a chaos detector. Yeah, I've gotten more than enough use out of that chaos detector, definitely. Even while I was making that cake last night. And it looks like Val's Black Cat's Rules is trying to jinx me. Fortunately, we are already just about at the right time. So I think I'm going to do one other thing carefully. There we go. And do this on its side as well. Yeah, because you got to render it, definitely. Nonetheless, a little bit here, and a little bit there. And I would say we are done. Especially since this is a bone-in. Come on. You know what? There we go. Got it. All right. So that sure didn't take long, did it? Nonetheless, here is our reverse seared ribeye. And this is how I like it. Boy, it's really got to be different, that's for sure, when we cook it according to the way my friend, I don't like using people's real names on the internet. She does have a nickname of Fats, Fatz, and as I said, that she likes her steaks well done, so it's going to be a lot of fun doing that. Maybe maybe I should just use the Finex and cook her steak as well. Save the trouble of cooking of washing off the Stargazer that way. I mean, this one's already here, so why not? I have the heat turned off right now because I don't need it yet. What I'm waiting for at this point is to prepare the steak fries. Hmm. Okay, because once the steak fries go in, I think we'll be able to prepare her steak. Yeah, rice pudding, bread pudding, creme brulee, small cakes, baked mac and cheese, almost anything in those little ramekins. Yes, indeed. I definitely have to find time in my schedule now to do some kind of a video, and I'm kind of leaning towards the French onion soup, largely because I've never made French onion soup. So there has to be a first time for everything. I grew up with well done meat, and I continue to cook mine well done. Jerry, 1952. Well, yeah, I would say you would get along famously with my friend Fats. And even though, by the way, she's not fat. No, seriously, she's not. She's about maybe 120 or so. 120 pounds. And she just calls herself Fats for because that's a nickname she had when hanging out with friends. Anyway, chuck steak is the next best thing to ribeye. Yeah, I made a chuck steak recently. And I really do need to do more of those because those things are nice and big. There we are. We are at 425. That means now I get to move this steak out of the way here. Let's turn our attention back over to here and move this out of the way because we've got a big hot pan coming in. Yes, indeed. This is the BSNR number 10. Heated up to 425. And now, okay, good. Here comes the fries. Spread these things out as best we can. And with that, these things, I've seasoned these fries. That's why they already have this color. And with that, get the glove on once again. And into the oven they go. Once again. All right. And probably in about 20 minutes or so, we just flip them. Okay, yeah, French onion sounds wonderful. Yeah, tell me about it. Okay, however, I think we're getting to the point now, though, where it is now time to cook a well done steak. This is the part where folks on the internet are going to start screaming blasphemy, although I know at least one person on this channel has already agreed with me, and thank you very much for that, or rather agreed with my friend, that is, about a well done steak. Because, of course, if that's what folks want, then that's entirely their choice. I'm not one to force anybody's food choices on anyone. I mean, I enjoy some foods, for instance, that make some people just go, why? I've said many times, for instance, that if the opportunity ever comes up, yes, I would love to try rat meat. Yes, rat, R-A-T. That is, as long as it is properly sanitized and cooked and prepared. I'm not that stupid. Okay, yeah. One small sizzle for man, one giant sizzle for cast iron kind. Steak is good anyway. Did they have cows back then? All right. Okay. Which means now I get to break out the other probe thermometer. And now it's really just a matter, once again, of reheating up this particular pan here. Let's see how hot it is right now. We're already at 400 on one side, and we're already at over 400. So it looks like we only need to heat this up for maybe a couple more minutes. So nice. Louis makes his wife the steaks the way I like. Yes, it's a texture thing. My wife had rat in Japan. She said it tasted like tender beef. I must have, Papa Dan, I must have well done, and Dan will eat it anywhere from medium rare to well done, as long as it isn't real rare. He isn't picky. I've had my steaks. I do find medium rare to be my favorite. I do actually like rare, but I think I do prefer medium rare myself. And because I'm not a professional chef, it seems like I have got maybe at least half of the steaks I have tried to cook to medium rare, I've ended up overcooking a little bit and ending up with more like a medium well. So yes, I guess you could say my tastes are all over the board, that's for sure. Bulls and bears. Okay. I'm definitely looking forward to well, I can only hope that she enjoys it, though. That's really the most important thing. Because after all, she's going to be the one eating it. All right, steaks need kosher salt rubbed on them, which is exactly what I've been doing, by the way. I've seasoned both of these steaks. I actually did do that. I took them out, and I did indeed use kosher salt and pepper on both of them. On her steak, however, I also put on Saison, which is her favorite seasoning. So, yeah, she definitely likes seasoning on her meat. That's for sure. Whenever I try cooking something without a whole bunch of seasoning, well, let's just say she comments on it. But that, of course, is simply how she likes it. So medium rare for me too, but steak is great no matter how it's cooked. Here's a question as well. That it's Valentine's Day. Who made their significant other, whoever that is, a special dinner tonight or tomorrow night, or maybe even might be doing it this weekend? And if so, tell us what it was. Did you have steak? Did you have chicken? Did you have fish? Did you have something veggie? Yeah, because I am curious to know. All right, but meanwhile, medium rare here. This thing is smoking nicely. I can see already on the video. We are still. This looks like we're just beginning to break 500. So I'm going to wait maybe another minute or so, and then we will get started. We had prime rib at our local restaurant. Also, for the record, I'm going to cook this steak to 150 degrees, which is definitely well done, but it's well below 165, so that there should not be any chance at all of this steak drying out. That's the one thing I do not want to do. Make this into a piece of leather here, especially since it's ribeye. Right. Ads will run shortly for some viewers. Oh, I'm sorry about that. We have ad sign or commercial sign. Yeah, that's right. It's just like in Mint and MST3K. Commercial sign in 37 seconds. Okay. I just picked up 6 pounds of elk, three burger, and 3 chili meat. Yeah, I saw somebody. Yeah, I think it was Fuzz Fork. In fact, who said that all he can do is hamburger. Well, if that's all you can do, Fuzz Fork, then definitely enjoy it. Just be sure to cook it in cast iron because I think that makes it better. All right, I'd say we've probably done enough talking. Let's cook a steak, shall we? And in we go. This is a boneless ribeye, so the temperature should be a little more even than my steak was, which is good because, as I said, I don't mind the temperature differences. And from here, it's going to be nice and easy as well. So, yeah, 4M Morris family, I had spaghetti marinara. Nice. I'm laying off red meat, so I'm enjoying it. Yeah. Well, actually, a spaghetti marinara sounds really good. And I just realized it's been quite a while since I've made spaghetti carbonara. So, roasted potatoes, creamed corn, smokies, and marshmallow cake. All of that sounds good. Rock Hunter, we had alligator tenders when I lived in Texas. You know, the one time I had alligator, I found it to be kind of rubbery, I'm afraid. Probably because it wasn't cooked very well. So I am one of these days going to have to remedy that. William Hurt, not from the South, but my buddies are. Girl, grits are terrible any way you cook them. Well, it's hard to say. It depends on how you cook them, I think. We had chicken with dried apricots and candied ginger. Well, that all sounds good. All right. And from here, it's really just a matter of giving it flipping it. Off to a decent start already. Like I said, I used Saison as part of the seasoning on this steak, so it is definitely picking up some color right away. There's no question about that. But I have no doubt that this is not going to take long at all here. So I've had rattlesnake really taste like chicken. Yeah, I mean, again, there's so many things I want to try. I would love to try rattlesnake. I mean, heck, I've mentioned already I want to try nutria, the Louisiana swamp rat. And besides, I do try to do unusual cooking every year at the 1st of April. And I've got a couple of things lined up then we'll see what might happen. If anybody in Cajun country knows what a gog is, G-O-G, gog, that's something I've been kind of eyeing on, and maybe I might even consider doing that. Mercy, the question is, what hasn't he done? Raccoon stew is good. Shrimp grits are to die for, especially when they add sausage. You'd be a grits gal. So anyway, like I said, this Finex here is definitely my go-to for steak, and I think this is probably demonstrating why. Although I can see there's still a ways to go on this thing yet. Where did here it is. My probe thermometer is right here. So far, oh yeah, we've got quite a ways to go yet. We're only at 75 degrees here on this steak, so that's good. So there's plenty of time to build up a crust yet. I found a huge dead rattlesnake once in Mississippi. They're way bigger than the ones out west, way bigger. Ugh. That kind of makes me a little reluctant to go to Mississippi. I've traveled through several southern states. Was I in Mississippi? I don't think I've been in Mississippi yet. I've been in Alabama. I've been in Georgia briefly, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, but not yet in Mississippi. Yeah, I definitely need to hang out with you, redneck. No question about that. I'm doing my best to try cooking redneck up here in the north, along with other things. I've also cooked New England. I've cooked British. I like cooking British. Um, Next week, as I mentioned already here on the live, I'm going to be going to India, I think, and doing butter chicken. Technically, Bugs Bunny is, I believe, technically Bugs Bunny is a rodent. I believe rabbits, I do believe they're either related to rodents or they are actually a kind of rodent. I've had squirrel too. All right. Butter chicken sounds delicious. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that as well. I would have done it this week, except Valentine's Day, and so of course we had to do something related to it, and so of course that means steak because yeah, it's a special dish that a lot of people make on Valentine's Day, especially if they take their loved ones out for Valentine's Day. Although I can't even say how long it's been since I've been to a steakhouse. It's got to have been years at least. So, all right, okay, um, okay, hold on. Sending a text here. Not done with the video yet. Full stop. Maybe in about another 10 minutes. Full stop. It's really just a matter of getting this thing done more than anything else. How many beads did you get? Beads? Oh, you must be talking about Mardi Gras, I guess. No, I have not been to Mardi Gras, I'm sorry to say. And I understand that just ended too. Oh, yeah, that's right. Fat Tuesday. Of course it did just end. Although it looks like the steak is starting to turn out nicely. So it looks like I think we need to do it a little more on the other side yet. So let's leave it as is, shall we? Meanwhile, we are now at 116, 115. So yeah, we still have a little ways to go yet. Yeah, 113, 112. At least this thing is cooking evenly. I will say that. From the looks of it, I'm hoping this should be done in about 5 minutes. All right. Anyone use a press when cooking steak or other meats? When other meats, yes. I have not used a press for cooking this. Maybe not a bad idea, I suppose. But I've done pretty good as well with just cooking it as is. I am, of course, a big fan of temperature control. A couple of people on the internet, nobody here, a couple of people have commented that, oh, gee, if you're using a thermometer, then that means you're an amateur and you don't know how to cook. I am definitely an amateur, and I've said that many times. However, I will disagree with that. Yes, I know that there are people who can judge it based simply on the tenderness. How does it go? Something like raw, rare, medium rare, and so on. I have, I really have yet to have any luck with that kind of a hand method. Now at this point, I think I can probably flip this. I notice this thing is curling too, for that matter. All right, but now we are definitely starting to get somewhere. Let me make sure we've got a plate for her. I just realized I've not done the plate yet. So, excuse me 1 second. I need to step by here and get a plate. I had everything prepared, but I always seem to forget one thing, and in this case, it's a plate. All right, there we go. Only once though, turned out great. Had it once. The town and house where John Wayne was born is 80 miles from me. Oh, that's nice, Corey Clark. We should really. Yeah, as you know, there is actually John Wayne souvenir cast iron, and even though it's made in China, I would think that any fan of the Duke may want to consider one of those. So far, so good. As I said, I'm going to pull it when it hits, well, maybe a little bit before 150. So at this point, we are at 137. And in the center here, it says 140, 138. Yeah, I'd say we're definitely getting close. Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay. I do believe, in fact, I should probably pull it now. That probably doesn't seem like a bad plan. So let's turn off the heat. Funny, the temperature of this thing just seemed to shoot up just like that. But nonetheless, there we are. All right. Here is our well done steak. So we will cover that. And voila. And finally, steak looks awesome so far. Well, I certainly hope so. Let's get this thing off of the heat to let this thing start cooling off. And yeah, as usual, of course, I have grease splatter all over the oven. It's somebody pointed out, you should really lay out the aluminum foil on the counter before you make that. And I would certainly agree with that as well. I never think of that, though. Finally, I think we are going to do one last thing. And then I will be heading out to pick my friend up from the movies. All right. I haven't ever tried it and don't want to because of my gout. Well, my condolences there, Papa Dan. All right. We are now off to one other thing, and that is those steak fries. It's time to flip them. Oh, yeah. Nice. There we go. What I'm going to do, in fact, is going to keep it in the oven at 425 until I'm ready to leave, and then turn off the oven, because no way am I going to leave the oven turned on when I leave the house. Still, we are not doing too badly here. Here are our steak fries. Not bad for Valentine's Day, I think. We've got steak and steak fries. I just hope she enjoys them. All right, let's make sure this is proper. We have as much contact with the iron as possible. And with that, back into the oven. All right. Oof. Hot, hot, hot. Holy cow, this is hot. Ah, damn, these gloves are like... Okay. Phew. So far, so good. Yeah, I love my Instapot. Yeah, one thing I don't have an Instapot, that's for sure. We have a meat monger in our market. So many choices. Wow. But still, even though I didn't have a chance to use the Stargazer, that's good. That's one less pan to clean off. If nothing else, I've got a little bit more seasoning on the Finex too. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Yeah, I need silicone gloves. The problem with silicone gloves is they're so slippery. So you can't seem to win either way. Goat is good, not sold in stores. Yeah, I've had goat and I liked it. It had almost like a sweet taste to it. So yeah, I would not mind making something with goat at some time any soon. However, nonetheless, here are our steaks. Once again, here is my... Let me pull this down a little bit more. And then I think we are actually calling it an evening tonight. I know I'm a few minutes early, but not really too early. Nonetheless, here is my ribeye steak that I will be enjoying once I get back from picking up my friend. And here is her steak, which is well done. So maybe that's why it's actually has drippings on it. Well, that plus the seasoning as well. So nonetheless, I can only hope she enjoys it. So, not bad, I think, for Valentine's Day. We've cooked a couple of steaks, and I have to say, if nothing else, at least it was more successful than that cake last night. Yeah. Go on to my Facebook page, Cast Iron Chaos, and you will see what happened when I tried to make a red velvet cake last night. I've made quite a few cakes over the past several years. I love baking cakes, yet this one just didn't work. At least it's still edible, though, so that's about the best I can say. All right, are you going to wrap the steaks in foil to keep them hot? Well, as you can see, hers is definitely hers is covered in foil, so I will leave it at that. I think. Okay. All right. But as I said, having said that, I actually do have to go and pick my friend and her girlfriend up from the movies. So that means this we are going to have to continue this again. Well, once again next week. So because yeah, well, Cast Iron Wednesday will keep on going, and I have at least 2 or 3 filmed but unfinished videos that I have to complete, which I really intend to do by the end of this week. I hope. I've done cast iron brownies in the large heart pan. Yeah, I made brownies in this pan already, and I want to do a video of that. I also have, and then of course there was last week's Guinness pie, beef and Guinness pie, which I thought turned out excellent, and I really want to finish that one as well. The third video is actually in preparation for something in the news that's supposed to be happening this week. We'll talk about that another time. Other than that, though, nonetheless, I can only hope as well that everybody has had a nice and fun and happy and romantic Valentine's Day, whether you're by yourself or with a person very close to you. So, because I mean, what can I say? I mean, I'm here, I am by myself, but I have all of you folks. But more, just as important, I had the chance to cook a couple of steaks in cast iron. So for me, this has been a fun evening. And besides, as I always like to say, it's you folks as well who make this so much fun for me doing these live videos here. I really much enjoy your banter and your comments and your criticism because I do accept honest criticism. It tells me a lot. And I can only thank everybody as well for showing up here. The folks I see regularly, like Corey Clark and Rick Stumbow, Deep Hell Pal, and Val's Black Cats Rules, and new folks as well. And hello, RT Scott, and yes, and Beth Button and Cast Iron Fanatic. And yeah, as I said, I can only hope you folks have enjoyed your day here. It is only a Wednesday, and we've got the rest of the week to get through. But at least, if nothing else, I hope some folks have had a nice romantic interlude tonight. And for everybody else, though, most importantly, have fun and keep safe. So thank you once again for everybody, to everybody for showing up here, and we will all do this again next week, where I'm planning to do butter chicken, and we'll see how that all turns out. So, as I like to say here, yeah, exactly. Wrap the steaks in foil to keep them warm. Okay, let me get another piece of foil. Yeah, all right, I will do that to make you happy. Let's get out that foil right now. Here we go. Okay, see? Another piece of foil on the steak. There we go. So far, so good. There's one, and here's two. There, see? Okay. So thank you again, like I said, for the criticism, that's for sure. In fact, I better turn off the oven because I don't want to leave the house with the oven on. But I mean, it's still hot enough. Well, it's been a very busy week too. I can't deny that. So thank you very much, Cynthia Wesley. But with that, as I said, those steak fries should be done by the time we get home. And so that means we're going to enjoy ourselves a nice little Valentine's dinner tonight. And thank you, everybody, once again for coming along to watch all this. And once again, we will end it with my favorite quote from 2001. So thank you, everybody, and see you next Wednesday.